just going like, okay, you're live. And here we go.
Hello, everyone. Apparently, we're a little early. Excuse us tonight. We're going to be a little bit loopy. We were installing floors all day at our friend Denise's house. So, Saturday. Welcome to Side Dish. I was thinking about a lot of things to do this week, and one of them was, how do we like get into themes and talk about like different things? And I really wanted a steak after working really hard today, and I wanted to go to the steakhouse, but in the times of COVID, you really don't want to do that. So we're gonna bring a steakhouse staple here. So we're gonna make creamed spinach. I don't know. I like creamed spinach. What's to be bad about it? It's cheese and cream or half and half and onions, and we're gonna get into it. I'm just peeling some garlic over here. I'm gonna crush it. I've got most of the rest of the stuff here already ready to go. This is should only take you about 35 minutes in total time. 20 minutes of prep, about 15 minutes of cooking. So, it's a relatively fast turnaround in terms of, a side dish for a quick night. If you're making steak, it's going to be really good. It is not good for you.
It's like most things we make here. It is not good for you.
It is not. If you think about it this way, there are 3.5 cups of half.
I don't know. That part's good for you. Right?
Sure, the greens are good for you, but again, when you add cheese and 3.5 cups of half and half to it, it's suddenly
and cream cheese
and calcium. So there are a billion different ways to make creamed corn. The basic structure of it is you're gonna wilt some
creamed spinach. You said creamed corn.
Oh, creamed corn. That's another good one from a steakhouse staple. So I might be doing. I think that's a good idea. If you think, maybe we'll do a little series on steakhouse sides, gratin potatoes, creamed corn. There's at one of the casinos here in Sparks at Western Village. They've got a steakhouse and they've got creamed corn with jalapeno in it. Woo! It is so good. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is I've got a large pot here. We're waiting for it to boil. It is almost there. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take spinach, and let's talk about the spinach here. So I've got full leaf spinach. This recipe is 8 servings, and it calls for 2 1/4 pounds of fresh. You're gonna think to yourself, "Holy crap, that is a lot of spinach." It's not actually, because when spinach wilts down, it's gonna get tiny. This pile will, maybe go up halfway in the bowl. So we're going to do that. It takes one medium onion, 3 cloves of garlic minced, which we'll do, and I'll add it to that little container here. But I don't know if we talked about this last time. This is a garlic press. Some people think like they don't like these because they're a unitasker, so you can really only do one thing. I don't believe that. Put some ginger in here. Now it's a dual tasker. But really all there's little holes at the bottom and a little press at the top, garlic press, and it's just gonna it's gonna chop them up, mince them up. I hope everybody had a good week. Thanks again for all the views last week, and I hope that you guys are enjoying it. If you are, it's a good time right now to, if you haven't already subscribed, to do so. And if you like this video or you like any of the other videos and you haven't liked them, go back and like them. Do me a favor. All I did there is I just took my knife and I just cut it off at the end. So I need this minced. And this is technically what they would call crushed because it's been there. Yeah. Zoom. But it's still there. And I need to break it up a little bit. Doing it this way also it helps the garlic kind of disappear on the dish. You don't have big chunks. You can look in here. There's not all that's really left.
Oh goodness! Now I'm zooming back. Okay.
Whatever.
Right.
It's not really anything to look at. It's like the papery kind of outer shell of it. that's like not going to go through.
Rinse that out or get it out before you put it in the dishwasher, or else it will still be there when you take it out of the dishwasher.
That is 100% a true story. It is. It's like it becomes like glue. Now we're gonna let that hang out. Like I said, I started this boiling. This is a huge pot of water.
Everybody just saw your
Oh, yeah.
plaid pants.
I'm wearing PJs today. I didn't feel like putting on real pants after we got back from putting in floors, and so you get to see my fun PJs.
What is it? Just water in that pot?
Yeah, water, and again, we are cooking something in there, even though it's only going to be in there like a minute, maybe 2 minutes tops. All we really want to do is blanch this, wilt it, and then we're going to immediately take this over to the sink, take out the colander that's in there, and we're going to talk about that colander real quick. So this is just an in-pot colander. It's really good for an application like this. I'm going to lift it up. It's really hot. But so when you see what you've got here is you just got, it has a rim, and this pot also has a little rim in there for that. And it's just, holes in it, just like a regular colander is. And so, the nice part is you can set it in here and then immediately lift out. Now, if you're making pasta and you're getting al dente and you have different things, you can keep the pasta warm in there too. It's a little bit of a trick. It also is, like I said, this is a really great application for it because I don't want to have to take tongs and take tongfuls of this out or pour a huge pot because of the amount of volume of spinach it's going to be.
Or you could use the spider, I guess, but it will slow you down.
Yeah, I think in this case, the other thing is you want to get the spinach out of the water as quickly as possible. We're not trying to cook this basically. We're just trying to get it wilty, and that's going to happen really fast. So blanching, wilting, same thing.
You were going to talk about the spinach, but then you stopped.
Yes, I'm going back to that. Okay. So you can use this fresh spinach. It's full grown spinach with the stalks in it. This is all going to wilt down and be edible. The other thing, if in a pinch, it's most grocery stores are going to have the baby spinach in a container. They sell this in the salad section. The difference is obviously you're going to get smaller, kind of more tender looking leaves. I would use this more in a salad than I would use it in anything else.
It's also twice as expensive.
Yeah, this So let's be realistic here. This is 2 pounds right here. So we're going to use 4 ounces of this just to even things out. But because I need 2 pounds, 4 ounces for this. It's boiling. Perfect. So you could use this, or if you wanted to use this, but a bunch of this, which is just like this big, I don't know, and it's a bunch in there. It's a bunch, I guess. and is only $1.49. But if you have to buy 5 of them, then the cost is $1.49. What's that? $8, something like that, $9 for 2 pounds, or you can buy $4.99 for 10 ounces. So you can see. I'd use this for So I'm just gonna.
You could also use frozen.
You can. So you could use 1 pound of frozen. Let's see. I'm gonna get that. So I'll if you don't.
Oh, we were gonna look at the.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn it. You can.
I'll get. You do that.
Okay. Anyways, so I'm just gonna. Also, I didn't finish the garlic, so I'm just giving it a one pass through here. Yeah. Whoa! Crazy.
Don't get crazy because
I know I'm not doing anything exciting. I'm just doing a little garlic. It's on the bottom underneath stuff.
No.
How much ounces in there?
10 ounces.
Of course it is. You need 1 pound, and 16 ounces equals 1 pound. So you need what? 1.5 of those? Great job.
Or if you cook like me, just use 2 and get over it.
You could probably do that. Okay, so they're also going to. I need that nutmeg. Where is the nutmeg?
Billy says hello.
Hi, Billy.
Matthew says, rest in peace, my bod, because this is not good for us.
John
agrees this is not a healthy dish, but
whole,
delicious.
I've got some whole nutmeg here. Well, these have been used a little bit. But you're going to get a better flavor out of this whole nutmeg. I mean, if you don't know I think I have a whole one in here. Let's look. Oh, yeah, we do. Okay, here we go. Now, you could talk about, fresh spices or whatever, but this is a nutmeg nut. It's basically, that's what it looks like. It looks like a pit of some sort of fruit, but it's packed full, nutmeg spice. It's really good. Keep it with you. You got it in the jar. If it's in this form, this thing will probably last forever. When you start to cut into it and, do this stuff. Well, that is very loud. Anyways, so I got some. I have a microplane somewhere. Hey, here it is. So we got a microplane.
Why isn't that in its cake?
Because it gets separated. I don't know. And then so we're gonna freshly grind this in here. Or it's got 4 ounces of cream cheese, a cup of mozzarella, and it's half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. I told you it's not good for you, but it's probably gonna be real good. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. I've got 2 steaks in the immersion circulator sous vide machine over there. They've been in there they went from frozen to cooked. They're 125 degrees, and I'm gonna put them on the barbecue. So they'll go up, and they'll be good. They'll be perfect to eat here soon. Also, you just need a little kosher salt and our old friend black pepper. All right, so let's just throw the spinach in here. We need it. We need to get this going, and then somebody put a clock on for 1 minute.
Gotcha.
You're gonna be amazed. Oh, that spinach and fire. I'm just gonna leave that there. See what I'm talking about here? I'm gonna have to push this down, so I better get a stick. Let's get a stick.
Also known as a wooden spoon.
Whatever. Stick. You can use a stick, regular stick.
Sandra would like to know if you're going to take the steaks out and immediately put them on the grill, or do you let them rest and then put them on the grill and let them rest again?
Well, Sandor, if we were doing a show called Main Dish, I would go.
Oh, you tell him.
But no, in the sous vide machine, if I'm going to do it, I take them out, I pat them dry, and then I add. If I'm going to put them on the grill, I do a little oil. If I'm not, if I put them in the cast iron skillet, which is what I normally do, I put them in and just with butter, oil first, sear one side, turn the heat off, and then butter baste until it's done. And then I let that rest for maybe 2 minutes because I'm not doing a ton of, All right, so this is.
John is saying that's a lot of spinach.
It looks like a lot of spinach, I'm telling you.
Oh, that's a minute.
Oh, wow. Okay,
from when you first started.
We're going to give it like 20 seconds, maybe. You need a big pan. I would go with the biggest one you got because you're gonna be doing a lot with it. You're gonna get a small pan and you're gonna put it on the stove and you're gonna start making it. And then that pan, you've asked too much of it, and it's gonna be overflowing. I know this because I've done it plenty of times. So get a tall-rimmed, wide-bottomed.
Thank you to our good friends Andrea and Lino for purchasing you that pan.
True that. It's got rubber handles, which helps dissipate the heat. If you ever held on to a cast iron, you gotta always have a, yeah. All right.
Hot pad. I'm gonna help you out with words.
Yep, I'm a little tired tonight. So, we're gonna take this out. So I'm just gonna bring this over because I don't want to. You got me?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm there. We have the sous vide machine in the back. Cooking the steaks.
Look at that. Now, when we were looking at recipes and we were discussing, we were like, wait a minute. Isn't this going to? I'm just swishing around here to get a lot of the hot water out. Now, immediately, if you're in a regular household, you can put cold water on it, but we're going to put tepid water on it because our house doesn't get cold water. Because our house sits on a concrete foundation and the water runs through it. So, like right now, it's literally cold on the coldest setting it can be. And now it's cold. It's like drinking out of a water hose on a hot day. And you're just like, you turn it on and also you get a hot face full of hose water and nobody wants that. I bet you right now there's some of you sitting in the crowd right now going, I could taste it.
Yeah.
So
We probably should not have drank that. It's probably going to give us cancer later on. But...
it's just rubber. I mean, could you do this with a ice bath? Man, I got a lot of water on me right there. That was, yes, you could do this with an ice bath. All I'm really doing is just I'm cooling it down. So that's why I'm kind of trying to move
trying to stop the cooking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's you turn it out. Now, the instructions on a couple of these recipes were like, take out fistfuls of this and wring it out. That doesn't seem like a great idea to me, but you know, I'm not a recipe maker. I'm just a guy who throws stuff together after reading like 5 or 6 recipes. So, all right, I'm going to let this do its thing because it's now time to do one of our favorite things, saute onions. What do we know about sauteed onions?
Oh, is that your burnt?
No, it wasn't burnt. It was wet on the outside, so it, miraculously survived. All right. Take our other big love in this world, butter.
Oh, shoot, honey. There you go. Now you're in there.
1
Do it
quart.
again.
What? What do I need? 4 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to melt this. That's what our onions are going to go in. I'm putting this on a medium-high heat. That's a lot to do. And then this is a fine mince on the onion. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not all fine mince, and I'm ashamed of that. But at the same time, it's what are you going to do? If they don't pay me money, hopefully they will eventually to do this. So I'm not a perfectionist, and eventually maybe if you want perfection, I'm showing you what it's like to do this. It's why in the title it says "at home." Who's being sassy in that chat?
Saying I wasn't going to say it, but your producer is off her game today. But also, John has had a lot of hose water in his life, so what does he know?
Yeah, well, I mean, and it's not like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and the cooking's really stopped on that because it's cool. But while we're doing this, because this is going to take like 8 to 10 minutes, we're going to.
Can we salad spin that, or it's too? Can we see what it looks like now?
You want? Yes.
That's what I was just going to ask if we could.
Look at that. So it's
okay.
Look how much. Okay, so that's
wow, that's like a
lot.
Fourth of the size it was, though.
But you see how much water is in there still? I thought about that. I'm like, why couldn't we salad spin it?
Instead of squeezing it?
We might be able to. I don't know. You guys want to do an experiment? I'm all about science. So let's try it.
I think you should salad spin it. I love salad spinners.
Yeah.
This one gets a little rock and rolly as we go.
Yeah, well, it's also I'm gonna try maybe do it in batches. I don't know.
Okay, John says that Adriana wraps it in a dish towel and squeezes.
That's what the instructions pretty much say. But we're gonna take some of this. We're gonna science the shit out of it. Let's see what happens here.
Okay. We're gonna do both ways and see who gets it.
Well, I don't know. We're just gonna do it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there it is.
The bumpy.
You gotta get it even. But centrifugal force. Centrifugal? Yeah.
Oh, but you burn your hands if you put it in a dish towel and squeeze it. So this might be better because it's still warm.
This is not warm.
Oh, it's not? I don't.
I cooled it. I'm not really getting.
That's what I'm saying. That one's a little rocky.
I
like it, but
I think maybe we get like the chainsaw one, and that. I mean, I'll look cool doing it, but. Whoa. All right.
Oh, that's a lot of.
That's pretty good.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah, what do you get with squeezing it?
Yeah, and I think like you're not damaging the leaves as much. Oh, gotta make sure our butter doesn't burn over here. The milk solids in the butter.
Centripetal.
Who said?
Force.
Who's telling me?
John.
Oh.
He probably is.
All right. Cool. Do we got any new viewers this week? Any
Nobody's
new viewers?
chiming in.
If you're new this week, say hi in the chat, and we'll try and say hi to you on the air. And if you're returning, welcome back.
You kind of look like a creeper right now.
Anyways, yeah, it's not. If you were just up just a little bit higher, it's like, what is he doing?
We can see your face.
I know.
Oh, if we couldn't see. What
No,
we're
I'm
doing.
just saying if it was just like from
I
this
gotcha.
high up and you couldn't see what.
Sorry, I'm slow on the uptake.
All right, I'm gonna throw these onions in here because they need
Stand
to.
aside, sir. There we go.
Because they need to. They need to soften. 8 to 10 minutes. Again, standard saute on it, right? We do this all the time. We're old hats at it by now.
Heck yeah.
So one of the things I want to do, don't just throw your veg into the pot here or the pan here and not stir it around. You got to get it coated in the oil or the butter or whatever you're throwing it in there. Because you want it coated so that it gets a nice source of brown even.
If you haven't thrown a little outside of your pan, you're not doing it right.
No. And, I'm a little wild, so you just, if there's not food on the floor, then I'm not doing it right. All right, but back to the spinach. I mean, it's a pretty good amount.
That's great.
All right.
Is that all of it?
All the spinach?
Yeah.
No, there's like more in there.
Okay.
Remember, we were only doing partial. Now, I'm just gonna, I don't care. Who cares? Ooh.
Oh.
I know, that's still pretty wet.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a good effort. I think we got some of it, but I think it's just because the leaves there's a lot of moisture in here anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Tim's going to get you some fresh dish towels since they didn't make it here from laundry.
That's okay. We're going to use the one that has, this one says A Cat's Christmas. And it's the 12 days of Christmas, but it's about cat stuff. Which, every day is Christmas for a cat, if you ask me. What do they do all day? Nothing.
Ooh, look how bright green that is. It's pretty.
That's what blanching's going to get you right there, folks. If we overcook this, then it would become like, it's going to be that gross color, right? Nobody wants that.
Oh, are you gonna
I don't know.
You know how people do that? I don't know how people do that.
No, I don't either. Like I said, it literally says in some of these instructions.
So Judy, you put it, make a little ball here.
Yeah, but then you get water everywhere.
Well, go outside and do that part.
I wish you could see this. So we have a demonstration of basically making like a ball of spinach, wrapping the dish towel around it, taking it outside and swinging it around like a crazy person. Which I think we should see that, but I don't think.
I think that I don't know. We obviously got more moisture.
Yeah,
but
quite a bit.
it's still pretty wet, and I think that's just like what's going to happen here, right?
Bring it out.
Just I don't know how to do it. We were like, why would you boil it? But reading more recipes, or I would say blanch it, let's put it that way. Reading more recipes, what I found is because we're gonna make a roux. And we're gonna make a sauce first. And the cream, basically we're gonna make a no. What is the mother sauce? The white sauce? I don't remember. Anybody know what the mother French bechamel? There we go. Denise for the win. We're gonna make a bechamel, and then that's a roux, butter, equal parts butter, flour, brown it up to your preferred darkness. Usually a medium brown color, and then the darker the roux, the more thick your sauce is going to be, whatever you're making. You're making a gravy. You want a real thick sausage gravy. Hey, that's good. Ooh. I tell you what, this is like torture to spinach, I bet. It's like, I got nothing more to say. All right. I think I've tortured it enough. All right. So, ooh. So as you can see, that big bowl, which is not this bowl, that bowl's over there.
It's behind you.
Oh. I suppose I could have just put it back in here.
Yeah, do that so we can have the comparison.
That's it.
So really about a quarter.
And that is what we're doing. All right, so this onion is doing its thing. We're good. What do we got next?
Is it translucent?
Not yet. Okay, sweet water on spinach. Ooh, with butter and garlic. No. We're gonna add the garlic towards the end. Maybe the last 4 minutes. Why? I don't want to burn it. It is on a low, it's on medium high, but it's not really getting it's not like burning. So we're good there.
Can you do anything with the spinach water it cooked in? Is it even colored? It was so fast.
Yes, it is actually.
Oh.
You might be able to, it's not a lot,
Oh,
but
it is, yeah.
has some color to it.
Yeah, let it cool and give it to your plants.
There you go. I mean, unless you really like boiled spinach water as a beverage.
I suppose you could you could use all your leftover veggies that you've been storing in the freezer, right? And make vegetable stock.
Yep, that's
That
enough.
could be your base.
Same thing. Yeah, that's a good point.
But
okay.
it will be faster if you just let it cool and give it to all your plants.
Right. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of kosher salt, 2 teaspoons. I put 2 teaspoons in the water for the spinach.
I asked if it was water or if there was something in it, and you said it's just water.
I believe I said salt. It doesn't matter. 2 teaspoons of salt. It's really nothing compared to that big old thing.
Liar.
So. You could eyeball that probably next time. And 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Onions love pepper. So.
Sandor says you could probably make spinach pasta with it, but only if it's a side dish, not a main dish.
That's right, Sandor. You go somewhere else to get that main dish. All right, so these are getting to the point where we've got maybe a few more minutes here. So I've added all the stuff we need, except now we're going to do some nutmeg. And the nutmeg is half a teaspoon. So that's going to be a good chunk of this. I mean, half a teaspoon is pretty good. Microplane, nutmeg.
Oh, show us the microplane.
I think I showed it once before.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it has that little.
And when you store it in the drawer, it has a guard that you should keep when you purchase it, and keep the guard on it when it's in the drawer because it'll cut you if you're digging around in there.
Oh yeah.
It's a nice sound. I'm sorry I talked over it.
Here.
Do it some more.
I don't know if you can hear it. Fresh nutmeg. Smells delightful in here. All right. Somebody get on that. Some of my engineer friends get on that smell-o-vision.
There you go.
All right. Now I'm mixing it up. Oh yeah, that smells real good. Add that garlic in there. Don't waste any. Yeah. Again, easiest way to impress your friends if they think you can cook. Add a little garlic in your whole house smells like a restaurant. Whoa, yeah, it's real pungent too. Okay, so I'm gonna let this go for like 1 more minute. How'd everybody's week go? Everybody good? Staying safe, wearing your masks, doing the things you're supposed to do so we can get back to normalcy or some semblance of it. All right. This is 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. We are doing this because, again, it's equal parts butter to equal parts flour for a roux. And then we're going to let this, it's going to be 2 to 3 minutes we're actually going to do that. It's going to get real nice and brown that way. And then we're going to add the half and half.
John says he spent all day putting floors in with a dude who kept complaining about his knees.
I'm old. I have old knees.
You had your knee pads on. They were just the joints were hurting?
No, I didn't have the knee pads on today, but it was because,
Oh, fool.
well, what do you want? Those were hurting the backs of my legs. Listen, there's a no-win situation on there, okay?
But the floors are beautiful.
They
But
do
the
look
floors
beautiful.
look gorgeous.
Okay, so want to get this really incorporated. You're going to look at it and go, man, you just ruined onions and garlic and delicious.
Hey, can we see that?
Yeah, give me 1 second. So you get a thick, kind of pasty looking stuff.
So tell us again. Oh, yeah.
So it's thickened up.
Looks
It's
like
all clumpy.
Hash browns.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, potatoes with Brian. Tell us, what is a roux again?
A roux is equal parts butter and flour, and then you're going to add a dairy product of some kind, half and half whole milk, cream, and then you're going to bring that up. Depending on how much sauce you want, is how much you get a ratio. I don't know what the ratio of like liquid to the butter and flour is. I can't remember. I do know the information, but I'm not going to recall it now. But you have, that stuff is here. So you are basically going to make a cream sauce, a bechamel. So that's where this starts. And what we're going to do is this has got another minute or so before it's good. It should smell a bit nutty, like me. I'm a bit nutty.
You smell like it.
Anyways, we're going to add the half and half, which I've conveniently doled out. That's a lot of half and half.
How much is it?
3.5 cups.
Whoa, that is a lot
That's
of
a lot of half and half. Yeah. All right. Ooh,
Could you use a flour that's not wheat flour for our friends who are gluten-free?
I think so. Yes. I would consult your local internet and find out, but I think you could just do it. All it's really doing is it's a binder. Oh no, substitute cornstarch.
Oh, there you go.
It'll do basically the same thing. Cornstarch will help you out there. So it smells like garlic and a bit nutty. So we're getting close.
A bit nutty, just like you.
Yeah. Wah, 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 waka, waka, waka. Sorry, don't sue me, Fozzie Bear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just what I need is a lawsuit from my pocket. Just gonna let this. We're just gonna have some dead air. I'm just gonna stare at the camera in a way that makes you uncomfortable for
Cool.
just a certain amount of time.
Don't do that.
Like right now. And
Talk about these other ingredients you have here.
cream cheese, mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese.
How
Now,
much?
4 ounces of cream cheese, 1 cup of mozzarella, and this is, believe it or not, 1/2 cup of Parmesan.
Parmesan.
Yeah. Box grater. Own one, love it. This is a nice model. I love this one. It's got the big shred on one side. It's got the little, you could have, right here.
Star shredder.
You could have done your nutmeg on here if you really needed to, but we didn't. Small shred and then sliced.
Now we have another one of those that doesn't have the rubber bottom, and I prefer that one because it doesn't scooch you around.
Yeah, this thing is a million
But
years.
that's
This is like a
typically what they-
million years old. I don't know. I think I may have.
It's not a million years.
It's pretty old. I got it like in the year 1999, I think.
That's
then-
not a million.
In the 1900s. Anyways.
You're a goof.
Yeah. So I like this one too. Big handle, nice grip. You want to be able to, get some. Also beware of your knuckles. If you get close to the end, just slow it down. Unless you like knuckle skin in your cheese
Yeah, that's left. Right?
or whatever you're shredding. Just shred. You can shred carrots. You can shred anything on here. Obviously by shredding your knuckles. So yeah, organized chaos we got going on here. All right, ready for the half and half. Ready? Here we go. Get your delightful spoon. Start mixing around.
What's the heat on?
I'd call it like a medium high.
Are you lowering it?
A little bit. And you're just gonna add that in here. So, if you had any fond at the bottom of your pan, fond is the little brown bits that stick. This is the time to scrape them off, or
Fond is flavor.
it is definitely flavor. You know, when stuff gets nice and going. So what we're gonna do now is this guy's got to get to a boil. I'm gonna turn the heat back up because I forgot about that part, and then we're gonna let this get. Now, the thing is why do we need to get it to a boil, Doug? Well, because to activate the thickening power of the roux, you got to get it to a boil, and then that helps everything like comes together real nice. It's like this, and it forms cream, and it's gonna form that sauce.
Look, everybody, Amy cleaned up fermentation station over there.
Sure.
So what doesn't look so nice?
Whoop, whoop.
Good for Amy.
Also, we're waiting for our kegerator to come in, so we're getting prepared for that as well.
We are not the first on the list.
No.
Apparently, a lot of people want kegerators
Well,
right
you
now.
know, if you're going to be stuck at home, you better have a lot of beer. So, okay. Again, cook this until boiling. It should not take a super amount of time because while 3.5 cups seems like a lot, you've got a hot pan already. So the heat's going to come back up. I already see some bubblage happening. You got your onions suspended. Stuff is going to happen real fast now because we're going to mix the cheeses in. We're going to cook for 6 to 8 minutes until it's thickened, and then we're going to add the spinach right at the end and the Parmesan cheese. And that's it. I mean, aside from the jibber jabber, we're 35 minutes in, and we're probably about 6 or 8 minutes away from being done, according to the recipe. Now, again, I think I did a lot of prep, and it's not like I've been not doing stuff while I'm talking, but I think some of these recipes are like, 20 minutes of prep and 15 minutes of cook time. Well, first of all, it's 8 to 10 minutes of sauteing the onions, and 6 to 8 minutes of till the mixture is thickened. That seems more than 15 minutes if I do my math right. So, I would call it more like 20 and 20 or 20 and 25. So you're maybe looking at a 45 minute, but you're going to be doing other stuff. Like if you're preparing your meal, if you're doing another side dish, you're baking bread or heating bread up or garlic bread or whatever you're doing, you're going to, maybe you're making a pie. I don't know. You got other things to do. You're busy. Kids, you got to wrestle a dog. I don't know. We're getting boiling. Now we don't care that the cream is getting that weird skin on the top because I'm gonna do a little stir here though because we don't want it to burn. So you do want to agitate a little bit because if it sticks in there, then you'll get scalded, and scalded milk is not great. So you can avoid the skin, and you can already tell this is starting to thicken up. If you can see the back of the spoon.
Yeah.
What you're going to be looking for, the thickness I think we're looking for here, and it's going to happen after we add the cheese, the mozzarella and the cream cheese too, I'm going to be able to drag my spoon through this, and it's going to be basically part the waters like Moses. And it'll coat the back of your spoon really thickly, and that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to move my whale coaster over here. So that we can.
It's called a spoon rest, sir.
It's a coaster. It's the same thing. Okay, so we have basically achieved boil.
All right.
So we're adding the mozzarella. I'm going to.
So we had a
I
little.
was going to move that around, but now.
No, you're not. We had a discussion about that hard mozzarella versus soft mozzarella.
Low moisture versus full moisture.
There you go. And most of the recipes did not.
They didn't have these cheeses in them. We are fans of gilding the lily as it would be, and adding these are really going to do that.
But what I'm asking is, how did you make the determination to do low moisture?
I thought it would have better stretch. You know, when when you're making a pizza and you get it and you get that pizza stretch.
So high moisture mozzarella kind of just like melts and
Yes.
dissipates, right?
Yes.
Someone would like to know if you use the vent over the oven ever.
Yes,
Yeah, but it's loud.
It's super loud and it would drown us out. If I'm going to be doing anything where I'm doing a pan fry or something like that in oil, you're always going to want to do that because it's a higher heat, and you're going to be cooking things down. Okay, I'm going to turn this down. It's really boiling. And I don't want it to boil out of control and burn. So, okay, already we're getting that Moses effect here when I'm dragging across. Now it's not everywhere, so it's not quite there, but we're getting pretty close. And
Show us. Look at me. I'm amazing.
You hold the camera up. So, when you're pulling, you can see sort
Gotcha. Yeah.
that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
It comes together. And see the sauces, adding the cream cheese and the shredded mozz, it helps. You're getting that thickens it up as well. So there is
Oh, look at how much it's sticking to the spoon.
yeah, that's what you're looking for. See? But we're gonna let this thing sort of get happy for another 5 or so minutes. And then
You can't say that. Somebody else has that.
Whatever. Emerald doesn't own Get Happy.
But thank you, Emma.
Yeah. I mean, I think that he's great, and I use many of his recipes, but it's just Get Happy. It's percolating. It's coming together, holding hands. Hey, are you supposed to be in the kitchen, Doggo? Hey, Piper, get out of the kitchen. Oh, sorry. Dog's not supposed to be in the kitchen. She knows, especially not to be in the kitchen during filming. And here we are. At least they're not wrestling and making loud noises.
They do what they want.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to let this do its thing and stop staring for a little bit. And then really, what do we got left? Look, we got spinach. We got Parmesan cheese. That's it. This will coat. Oh, I think I was supposed to cut this in. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to. We'll do that now. I'm just going to.
It seems kind of big.
Yeah. Technically, this recipe says take the spinach. Hold on. It's weird wording. Well, first of all, it says take fistfuls of that and then bundles. I'm like, this is a bundle. Anyways, I'm just going to.
Is it like when you're cutting herbs and you roll them?
I mean, maybe.
Like when you're cutting fresh herbs and then that way you can handle it easier?
I don't know. I'm not doing that.
That's not really fighting you, though.
No. I don't want to maybe give away some secrets, but I figured out a way maybe for a second camera so maybe get you in here and hear some of that crunch a little bit better. I don't know. We're gonna try and get fancy, but if it doesn't work out, then we'll stay single camera. A lot of successful shows are single camera shows. I'm not saying that I'm not talking about it. But if I can,
Are you gonna dirty another dish? No. Okay, sorry.
Put that in there. Okay. This is. Oh yeah, that's where we want it.
That was me being a brat.
If I could pull.
Okay, wait. I'm getting good at this.
Yeah, you are. See how it just.
Oh yeah.
See how it's just. That's what we want. Moses.
I think that's copyrighted.
Moses is not. The Bible is not copyrighted. It's just a dude's name.
What about your name?
All right. I don't think there's any way to ceremoniously do this. So.
Dump it in.
Dump it in. And then we're going to stir it up. It basically says add spinach and the Parmesan cheese, stir to combine. All right.
However, that is fresh Parmesan cheese
true.
that you grated. That is not the stuff out of the can that you dump on pizza.
Do not do that. You do yourself a favor. Go get yourself. I know you're going to oh my God, get a 15 maybe even a $25 chunk of Parmesan, and I'm gonna turn the heat off. No reason to have it. Really, all we're doing is warming through. And again, you're like, wow, that seems like a lot of liquid for the spinach. As I move the spinach around and I break it up, the clumps that were in there, it's really starting to move inside the. The beauty of granite countertops is you can just put the pan right on top of it. So I'm not losing any heat here. So really, all I'm doing is moving it. I think I'll probably add, just to kind of make this a little nicer, I'll probably add a little sprig of black pepper about it, and maybe a little bit more nutmeg on the top to kind of give us some.
You're gonna zhuzh it up.
Well, we're just gonna make it nice. We're gonna go fancy.
So in our house, honey, what are the rules about who cooks and who cleans?
Well, technically, it's if you cook, you don't have to clean, but that's not always the case. So just be cautious about that rule.
Isn't that why I come over?
So
I think that's for the most part true.
I mean, we have a routine for the dishwasher, so it just makes it easier. All right. We did it in like 45 minutes, not an hour and 25 minutes like last week. That's what happens when you get drunk. But we had a good time doing it, and
Let's try it.
I think it looks pretty good. We got spoon, we got fork. Get you a little. Ooh. How can that be bad?
It looks amazing.
Yeah, it smells unreal.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, don't spill it on your computer.
Is it hot?
It's gonna be hot. Blow on. Nah, I'll just take a fork.
Mmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Here's some things
that is
I'm
good.
gonna tell you. First of all, if you added, I don't know, planks of wood to this, it's probably gonna taste good. That sauce is unbelievable.
It basically tastes like really good homemade fettuccine Alfredo,
Yeah.
but instead of noodles, you have spinach.
Yeah, and it's good. So, the spinach adds something to it. I like the texture of the spinach in it, and it's got a nice spinach flavor. It's really good. So you don't have to go out to a fancy steakhouse and get yourself some creamed spinach. Take 45 minutes, get your ingredients together. Take a little bit of time and do it. What's stopping you? Nothing. I did it, and I'm tired and not all here today. So that's it. We did it. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate all your support. If everybody, we continue to get the word out a little bit, and we grow a little bit more and a little bit more, I really appreciate that. Remember to like, subscribe. If you are not subscribed and you are subscribing, or if you're already subscribed and you haven't done it, go to on the page, click on the bell. That bell's going to tell you when we go live, or we're going to have a video or whatever, and it's going to be good. I usually am texting you anyways, or posting it somewhere that you probably saw this. So that's it. We're good. For me and Amy and executive producer Denise.
I'm executive.
We're all
I'm the executive.
You're all executives. You're executives in my heart. That's side dish for week 8. We did it. I can't believe it's been 2 months. So get out there, be kind to each other, be loyal, and do something nice for somebody else. And we'll see you next week.